Did you know that Africa is the first to host podcast festivals for podheads? With very little content in relevance to awards and similar concepts, but with content that celebrates and amplifies podcasting in Africa. What's up, pod fam? Welcome back to your constant dose of the pod culture. Now, we all know February was the month of love. It was also a game changer for African podcasters. On February 12, 2022 was Africa Podcast Day, a revolutionary day for African podheads. This year's theme was Podcasting is Freedom. Africa Podfest is a platform for and by African podcasters, simplifying podcast learning and connecting podcast storytellers in Africa. Founded by Josephine and Melissa, this is a woman-led and community-driven company based in Kenya, developing an African audio environment with a focus on African podcasters. Their database has been running since 2019 and the first Africa Podcast Day was launched on February 12, 2020. Now here's what's interesting. These are virtual events streamed on YouTube throughout the day. Through these virtual events, podcasters have the opportunity to learn from fellow podheads that have already created content that is African related and that amplifies African voices. Last year, the company embarked on a discovery tour to 4 stops across the continent: Kenya, Zambia, South Africa, and Nigeria. This virtual tour through African podcasting hubs allows them to share the single story of Africa through epic encounters and African pod storytellers across the continent. And to the north of Africa is Podfest Cairo, Egypt's first podcasting conference, created with the aim of bringing together Egypt's podcast creators to build a community and share knowledge. The first event took place in March 2020 and brought together nearly 100 people and local and international experts in the field. Podfest Cairo featured panels and talks on a variety of podcasting topics, as well as a pitch competition where 3 finalists presented their ideas for a potential podcast. On the 5th of March 2022, the half-day conference commenced at 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. with the aim to bring together listeners as well as anyone interested in creating audio content. Kim Fox, Podfest Cairo's founder and organizer, says the podcasting community in Cairo is growing and we want to encourage podcasters to continue to create compelling audio content. Africa Podfest and Podfest Cairo have now collaborated for what is called Africa Podcasters Roll Call. After an open call for participating African podcasters, the 2 organizing partners created a program featuring audio and video content creators from Cairo to Johannesburg to showcase African podcasting talent. Africa Podcasters Roll Call was a virtual hour-long event featuring a cross-section of podcasters on the continent. It allowed participants and a live Facebook audience to discover what makes an African podcast so fresh, smart, and innovative. This event gave African podcasters a chance to introduce themselves and for listeners to discover new podcasts made in Africa. These platforms are exploring connections between podcasters in Africa and the diaspora, speaking through their experiences, seeing their similarities and differences, areas of growth, and their podcasting journeys to identify ways to bridge the gap. This year has been a fruitful year for African podheads. Follow Africa Podfest and Podfest Cairo on the social platform and engage with fellow podcasters. Don't forget to subscribe here. Until your next dose of the pod culture, this pod channel is brought to you by Africa Way.